What's up, Facebook? All right. I didn't know exactly when I was going to do this today, but I figured it would be smart to. Okay, I don't know if I just went live or if it started earlier. It looks like it just went live. But what I was saying was, I don't know. I wasn't sure when exactly I was going to post this, but I figured I should do it before the kids got home from school. A lot less distractions. I know there probably won't be a ton of people. It's like about 1:30 in the afternoon where I'm at, and I'm sure a lot of people are busy with their day. But if you're catching it live, awesome. I can't see the comments. The way this is set up, I can't see the comments during the live. I'm doing it on my computer. On my phone, I can. When I do a Facebook Live on my phone, I can see the comments as they come in. And I may see comments here in a second. But as of right now, I see myself. I see myself, which is always weird. But I actually wrote some notes down. I was sitting in the coffee shop today, which I rarely ever do. I usually just stay home. But okay, I can see comments. What's up, Or? Good to see you, man. So if you're watching this live, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're watching it live. If you're watching it on the replay, type replay. I appreciate you taking time to even watch, or care what I have to say about this. It's been a crazy year. It's that goes just without saying. Obviously, it's been a crazy couple years just in this world. Um, but 1 year now with this company Modere, having switched from a company that I was there 8 years. And I posted on Facebook yesterday. I was like, I'm going to go live, talk about my 1 year. What's been different about this year versus the 8 years previously in network marketing, which was just in one other company. But what's been different? What's been different about this year? Not to mention everything that's going on in the world. I guess may have a little bit play a part in that a little bit. Everything that's going on with COVID and all that kind of stuff, how that played a part. I'm sure it's relevant, so I may mention that in a second. What's up, Wayne? Good to see you, brother. Um, but when I was writing in my notes today at the coffee shop, I wrote notes for my Facebook Live, and then the first thing I thought about, and I didn't really mention this that I was going to talk about this, but I put how am I here today? How am I here today? What did I do that made me different to be able to have, to be even in this position? I put that in the caption as well, but um, you know, because I feel like, me personally, I feel like I could have really, 9 years ago when I ventured off into network marketing, I was a state trooper. I was super hungry. I was ambitious. I wanted to succeed, but how did I have success when a lot of people try home-based businesses and things like that, and most of which don't have the same results, and so I just started writing down things, and I started writing things down about myself that I felt like um, made the difference. And the reason I'm going to mention this, I'm not trying to talk about me here, but one of the things I also put in the caption was, can anyone do this? Like, can anyone really have the same success? Can someone come into a home-based business and just have the success that gives them the options to have the freedom that they want in their life to live a life, a fully autonomous lifestyle? Meaning, like, if they don't want to go to work and have a job, they don't have to have a job. They can live off of an income from a home-based business and provide for their family, you know, provide a significant income. I feel like uh, I've done okay as far as that goes, and went through a rough time a year ago when I transitioned to the company that I'm in now, and I'll discuss that here in just a second. But just some of the, I guess, character attributes that I had going in that I feel like maybe a little bit different than maybe the average person. Um, the first thing I wrote down was desire. So I did have just a strong gut burning desire to be successful. I say successful, that's such a relative term. I had a gut burning desire to succeed in the business. Like, I really wanted the lifestyle that I saw so many people had in this profession. And by lifestyle, I mean that, they weren't worried about the bills, but yet they had the freedom to do anything that they wanted to do, more or less. You know, if um, they had nice things, they had, and it's not all about what the stuff. It's not about the stuff. It's just the freedom, really. I mean, basically that's what it came down to most, was just having freedom. I wanted freedom so bad. And it's not that I didn't like being a state police officer. It's not like I didn't like having a job. It's not like I didn't want to be a productive uh, human being, or contribute to society. It's not that I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to have options, and I just didn't like to have to be forced to go do something I didn't want to do. And I know there's so many people out there that are like I was, who just don't want to do what they're doing for the rest of their life. Like, you know, one thing, if COVID gave me, was such perspective. Like, you know, having got sick a couple weeks ago, and like really, it was really bad. Like, I would not wish it on anybody. But I was thinking, like, literally thought, like, what if I freaking die from this? Like, this is crazy. Like, in my mind, still, I don't feel like completely at 100%. I still have like brain fog a little bit. I was talking to Bren Lang. We've been talking back and forth on Messenger, even about doing a Facebook Live, because she did a Facebook Live right after she had COVID. I'm like, golly, she's so sharp. Like, she kills it. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that, because my brain feels so scattered. She's like, just do it. It'll be great. So I'm doing it, Bren. But I still felt like but during that time when I felt like life could just be cut short. And, you know, I think about it. I just think about life in general, and it's so short. It's so short. Life is so short. And I'm approaching 40 here in a few months. In November, I'll be 40. Golly, I can't believe I'm even saying that out loud. I'm still in my 30s. But I mean, I'm about around the halfway mark of the average life expectancy for a human, or a male in the United States. You know, I'm around the halfway mark. So to think your life's halfway over, and to think that I could have been spending so much of so I haven't had a job in over 7 years because of this profession. And I think it makes me think about how not to take it for granted. You know, even every day when I just drive down the road or take my kids to school, and, you know, just seeing people do regular jobs, like construction jobs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's necessary. There's nothing wrong with having a job. I never want to come across that way, like I'm down on jobs or anything like that. All I'm down on, all I guess strive to put out there, and to make known, is the fact that you don't have to do something that you don't want to do forever. You know, at some point it may be necessary to make ends meet and to provide, and to get by. But if you're working during the day at your job, and you're paying the bills, you know, earning wages, afterwards, if you really want it bad enough, and that's why I wrote down desire first, was, if you really want it bad enough, if you're inspired enough, you can block out, even if it's just an hour a day, you can block out the time to create profits, and to build a pipeline, to create some sort of business that can potentially replace what you're doing. So, you know, Jim Rohn says, work full-time on your job and work part-time on your fortune until the point where you can work full-time on your fortune. And I say fortune, you know, there's so many people in this profession that earn such a insane amount of money. Like the guy that enrolled me, I mean, multiple six figures a month in earnings. That, to me, the fact that that's even possible opens up my dreamer so much. Because I like to dream. I just don't think God is a God who puts all these nice things on this earth to be like, oh, well, that's just for those people, Justin. That's not for you. You can't have that. And so I was just that guy 9 years ago who was a big dreamer, I guess, you know. And I just know that there's other people out there that dream big like that. And the thing I wrote after desire was belief. It's like almost like I was just silly enough or naive enough to believe that I could actually do it. but I believed so much that I could actually do it that I actually did it. And I think that a lot of people, when they see a home-based business or they see the earning potential that one has, that they get a taste of that belief or they have a little bit of that childlike belief in it, but they get it taken from them too easily. And I think I was just too stubborn to let anybody steal my dreams from me. And I, I, but it was so evident that it was real to me because I saw people actually living it. And to me, it was just, I guess I didn't question it just because if I saw people living it, like if I knew people personally, I met these leaders and I met these people that had time and money and that it was real. So I knew if it was like, okay, if it's real, like, I'm not scared to go work hard at this. I'm not scared to like, and that's the next thing I put was willingness to look foolish. Like I wasn't afraid to look silly to other people. And I knew I probably did. Let's face it. I mean, if you're doing something if you observe the masses and do the opposite, the masses look at you like you're strange. Like you're like, oh, he's doing one of those things. And I was like, I don't want this to come across wrong, but I was like a normal kind of person. Like I was a normal guy. I wasn't like somebody that would typically do weird things maybe or different things. So I was a state trooper. Um, I mean, I like to feel like I was a cool guy. Like, like people were like, I got that kind of a lot when I was doing the home-based business. Like right when I started network marketing, they're like, oh, you're doing one of those things? Like it surprised people. I guess a lot of people are just too cool for that. Like, oh, they're too cool to try one of those home-based businesses or whatever. But I wasn't. I was willing to look foolish to people because I really just didn't care. Because ultimately, what it came down to, and it kind of goes back to the desire, I just wanted it so bad. I just didn't really give a shit what someone thought about it. I just wanted to have the lifestyle. Like ultimately, that's all I wanted was the results. Like I didn't care what somebody thought. I didn't care how hard I had to work to get it. I didn't care what the business was even that I was doing because I really didn't even know initially when I saw it what I was even going to be doing. I just knew that it was possible to earn that when I saw the compensation plan and just saw the earning potential that it had. That's all I could think about. That's all I cared about. And I know that sounds very shallow and self-serving. I don't mean for it to sound that way, but initially that's where my mindset was. I was like, wait, so you're telling me it's possible to earn this much money if I just um, you know recruit this many people or have this much volume or like what I was like, so I didn't really understand that the all the intricate details. I just saw that the result was possible, and that's all I could think about. Like my dreamer busted wide open. I'm a car guy. I love cars. I've always loved nice cars since I was a little kid, and I don't know why I'm attracted to nice vehicles. I just think they're really amazing. I just think that they're awesome, and so really that was really probably the biggest thing early on was I just want to have a nice car. Like I just want to have the coolest car. And but I will tell you, let me go ahead and I'll finish reading these real quick and then I'll talk about what happened in that process. But I put willingness to look foolish, willingness to fail as long as it takes, and I put faith that I will win eventually. I put authenticity, passionate, willing to serve, and confidence. And so willing to fail as long as it took. I didn't know how long it would take me to have success. Like in my mind when I started, I just was like, I don't care how long it takes me. I don't care if it takes me like 5 years. The next 5 years is going to pass anyway. I'm just going to do it until I win, like until I get there. And I have over the last 9 years have noticed that a lot of people don't give it enough time. I think that they're like, well, I'm going to give it 6 months and see what happens. And I think the fact that in my mind I was already made the decision, like I already had a decided heart. I think because I already ultimately began with the end in mind, that it happened along that process. I think I was 22 months in when I quit my job at the state police. So it took me just under 2 years from when I started to be able to quit my job. But had I gone in with a limited commitment level, I don't think it would have. I think it would have taken me longer and or never happened at all. So I did uh, make that commitment very early on that I was just gonna do it. Like I knew I was gonna make it happen. Um, Authenticity. Always, I'm always myself. Like sometimes it hurts me. Sometimes, um, it's probably not served me that the best way because I've worn my heart on my sleeve. Um, I may have looked weak at times because of that. Because uh, if I make mistakes, I'm the first to admit I make those mistakes and I take responsibility for them. I don't try to. I try not to let my pride ever get in the way of being real, and but people know me, people that know me, they know that about me. They know like, hey, if he says it, like sometimes it might be the wrong thing that he says, or he might do the wrong thing, but he admits it. Like he admits he's an idiot sometimes, or whatever. Um, and but I'm humble in that sense, Um, but I'm just myself. So the authenticity, I think people, as I built this, I was real. So people respected that part of it about me. I really think I tell the truth, even when it sucks and even when people are going to think less of me because of it. Just like when I did the video about why I left my last company. I had a lot of people reach out to me after I made that video, like, "Hey, man, I appreciate you just being honest." People, first of all, people know whether when you're honest or if you're not honest. People kind of know anyway. So my suggestion would just be real, be yourself, tell the truth, and so I think that helped me a lot. And then passionate, you know, because that comes through, for me. Like I'm so passionate about this whole live free philosophy. Um, that it shines through. It shines through that it's important to me. It's important to me to see other people do the same thing if they want that. And I think that's probably been the intrinsic motivator for me throughout the entire thing is once I saw that it was possible. So of course my goal started off very self-serving, like, oh, you can make a lot of money, you can have nice things and fly first class and all the stuff. That was the initial, I guess, spark, was the dreamer opening up. But then as I grew as a person, as I grew as a leader, as I started seeing people's lives change inside of that business, on my team, seeing people get results, it became way less about me and so much more about other people. And then that's when it really, I think that was the biggest transition for me as a person, as a leader in business, was it became so much less about me and so much more, at least the focus was so much more on other people, helping other people win, to the point where it became an addiction. To the point where it became, that's like what I cared about most, was how many people can I help have success, which ultimately led to me leaving that company, because that's what ended up being the biggest problem, was that no one was winning. Like zero people were winning. And so I'll just talk about the biggest differences, because that was kind of the whole point of this live, and I don't want to keep you guys all day. What's been the difference about the last year in my current company versus the 8 years prior to that in my previous company? And the biggest difference was how many people were winning. And anybody can say anything. And I'm not speaking negatively about the company, because the company was great and the people were amazing. I learned more in those 8 years about myself, and I grew more in those 8 years and in any other area of my life, as far as my personal development and my character, the leadership attributes and stuff like that. I don't regret that experience in any way, shape, or form, nor do I want to take away from what they're doing there. I mean, I don't even know what's going on there anymore. They could be having great success, and I'm not saying anything negative about them or saying that it's a bad place to be, because it's not. I mean, the people are awesome there, and so I don't. I'm just explaining the difference in my experience in this past year versus the 8 years prior to that, and the biggest difference that I've seen was the ability for the average person to win, and by average person I mean someone who's just doing this part-time and not make it's not their career, it's not their full-time what they do, it's just their ability to have success. And I'll just say I had thousands of people, and I said this in that Facebook Live when I talked about why I left that company, but I had thousands of people, in my organization, and so few of them ever had real success. And as a leader, especially coming from where I just explained where I come from, as far as why I do this business, if a leader, from a leader's perspective, if their team's not winning, then what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's not a who's better at this point. It's not, I mean, a bee's not going to explain to a fly why honey's better than shit. It's not like oh, this is what I have and that's what you have and mine's better than yours because of this and this and this. That's not what I'm doing right now. Any leader in that business can I will debate any leader in any business to look throughout their organization. If you want to be honest with yourself, if you're a leader, and I'm not trying to get like ornery here or anything, I'm just saying, if you're a leader and you looking throughout your organization at your group, out of the however many people are in that group, and you be honest with yourself as a leader and as a human being, and say how many people are having the same success. If you're a leader and you've had success, how many people are having the same success that you're having? How many people? And I'm not asking you to make excuses for them or give me a list of your reasons why they don't have success. Just a simple fact: do they have success or do they not have success? Are they winning or are they not winning? Are they showing up and like paying to go to these events and paying all this money and trying so hard and working and doing the system and doing everything that you tell them to do, and they're just not having success? Why is that? And ultimately, that's where I had to face the music. That's where I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, is it my responsibility as a leader to lead my team or put my team in a position to where they can actually win? Is that my responsibility? And I believe the answer is yes. I believe the answer is yes. So if you're a leader, if you're a true leader and you actually care more about your team's well-being and success and the people that you're leading, if you truly care about their livelihood and their dreams and their goals, as you say you do, I assume you say you do, and I assume that you do. I want to assume that. And you look at the numbers, just look at the facts. How can you say you're a good leader and I'm not talking about any specific company anymore. Okay? This is not me talking about my last company in a negative way, talking about the leaders in that company. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just generally speaking now. Okay? This is me generally speaking. I'm not speaking negatively about them. I don't know what's going on, and it's not fair for me. It is not my place to say what is happening there or what's happening in people's teams there. I have no idea, and I'm not going to act like I do. I have an idea, but I don't know for sure, and that's not right for me to say, and I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm doing right now, and I mean that. That's the truth. What I'm speaking now is just me generally speaking to any leader that can hear my voice right now. And I'm asking you this: if you look at your team in your organization, if you look at your business, how many people are winning, and how can you as a true leader say, that you are doing the right thing if you're keeping your team on a sinking ship just so that they may row one more time to make you one more check before the ship sinks. Come on, guys, we can do it. Let's just all pull together. Let's just keep rowing. Let's just keep going. One more time. You get that bucket. Just keep getting the water out the boat. Let's just keep this thing up as long as we can keep it up. Does that make you a good leader? Knowing good and well that there's a very high likelihood that had you just take that, people say, guys, the boat's done. It's done. It's done. I see this leader over here. It's extremely evident that these guys are winning, that these people are having success. They're breaking ranks. The team's making it happen. They're having success. But we're not going to even give that a chance because, hey, we're committed here. We're going to ride this thing out till we sink. Knowing that, hey, when it all comes down to it, you as a leader, you may have the influence and credibility to say, hey, once it does sink, I'll see what all the other leaders do, and then we'll figure it out. We'll go from there. Or do you feel like that it may be your responsibility to say, you know what, guys, it's time to just be honest with ourselves here. What we're doing is not working. It's not working. And Justin, he's been there. We've watched him for a year. It's obvious these guys are winning and having great success. There comes a point in time where we got to swallow our pride. We got to swallow our pride at this moment. And it was hard for me. It wasn't even a pride thing. It was relationships that I made with so many amazing people that it made it so difficult because what people do is they let reality, they let business cloud their reality of what real life is and what human beings like the people and who they are. Like I can think of so many people who in those 8 years where were just like family to me and like people that I just cared about and were like, we told each other, hey, I love you, man. Like I love you. And like these people I cared about and thought so much of and had such close relationships with. But when I left the business, we're like it made me as if like I was this bad person because I wasn't a part of that group, almost like a cult-like mentality, which is very strange because I didn't see it that way in my mind. And maybe it was the perspective that I had because of the position I had to take and the fact that I left. But the way some of these people like treated me I was a different person after I made that decision. And I think everyone kind of needs to take a step back, especially now, like the way the world is. And I haven't looked at all these comments. I apologize. But I think, and I know I've gone off now on a tangent, so I'm just gonna ride this thing out because I done opened the can of worms. So whatever. So here we go. I think now that this world is in such turmoil that I think people need to relook at their perspective that they have about life and business. And I think you should revisit what's actually important in life. And, as far as the business building, like I didn't even look at my notes on all this. As far as building the business that I've built over the last year, everything's different. Like I don't travel. I was traveling all over the place in that last business, meeting people, doing business presentations, doing 3-way calls all the time. I was like having to sell and convince and it was a very difficult business to build in that sense because the average person couldn't really do that. I don't even know how I freaking did it. To be honest with you, I have zero idea how I was ever even able to do that. I think I just wanted it. Like I was saying earlier, I just wanted it so bad that I figured it out during that process. But that most people can't do that. And the difference here in this business where I've been building over the last year is we do so much more just on social media. The average person has hundreds of people on their social media. So it gives them a great platform to spark curiosity, to have conversations, and they're really truly able to just sift and sort. So the average person who's doing this part-time can throw up a post, can add people to a Facebook group, let them see the social proof, let people see the testimonials, let people see the great products, and say, hey, this is cool. It's easier for them to do it. It's a lot less expensive for people to join, so it's a lower price point, so more people can afford to do it. And you can just sift and sort, and it creates duplication. And I think ultimately that's what it comes down to. In fact, John Melton did a video today. He talked about duplication equals freedom, because I mean, ultimately, it's what it comes down to. It's like if people can do it, complexity is the enemy of execution. So when something's very difficult for someone to do, like I was saying earlier, presenting a business, selling, convincing, doing all that, making phone calls, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So it's too difficult. So when it's too difficult, the average person can't do it. So if there was, I guess, the biggest differentiator in how we've had so much success over the last year and have had so many, I mean, literally hundreds of rank advancements, and people earning thousands of dollars and having a blast, having fun, because it would come down to how we build the business. And it's so much of a so much more of a simple approach to build a business that the average person can do it. And when the average person can do it, and the average person can have success, well, they win. And when they win, guess what that does? That creates a ripple effect of other people winning. Because when they win, they're excited. That raises the morale, right? A rising tide raises all ships if your boat's in the water, right? And a lot of people were putting their boats in the water, and everybody was winning together. And then that compounds, and that compounds to where it attracts other people to want to be a part of that. And that's why I'll post my rank advancements sometimes, our team's rank advancements on my story, on my Instagram story, on my Facebook story, because I want to show people that people are winning here, and but I just feel like, let me digress for a second here and gather my thoughts. But I just want people to realize this is I'm no different than anybody else. I mean, other than the things that I mentioned, I just feel like there's a lot of people with those similar attributes. And, I feel like there's a lot of people that feel like they were designed for more than just to go to work, pay bills, and die. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that if given the right vehicle, would have similar success, that I have. And, I feel like that, I feel like I don't know what makes me different. I was doing a team call night before last, and I just felt like I was all over the place. I was like, my ADD was just off the charts. I'm apologizing to my team. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm scatterbrained. I'm all over the place. Please forgive me. I'm not the best at teaching this. And then I had so many of them just, man, hey, dude, you got to understand. He's like, or people were just like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, we thought you did awesome. We didn't notice that you were all over the place, or we didn't feel like that. And I had people calling me like, hey, man, I'm here in this business because of you. You motivate me. My buddy Blake, Blake, if you're listening to my voice, man, I appreciate that. What you said that yesterday to me. And it's like, I question it sometimes. We all have that like imposter syndrome, to where it's just like, how am I even here? Why did God put me in the position to, to lead other people in this way? I feel like that a year ago, when my back was against the wall, when I did face the trying times that I did and had to make the decision to come to the company that I came to a year ago, that I feel like I feel like it was God forcing my hand to put me in a position to where I am today, to where that I can lead more people in a better direction, and position myself in a better place for my team to actually win. Because had I not been forced, I wouldn't have left. Because I was so loyal, and I just loved the people so much, and still do. I still do. I don't have any animosity towards anyone over there. I just don't. I really don't. The only thing that I see is that people are letting themselves be held back from their true potential. And so many leaders, and this is really hard, too, is there's so many leaders that I know of that are there, and in lots of probably in lots of companies, that look out throughout their organization and they see their team's not winning. They're not making the money that they had a taste of at one point in time. They had an organization, they had people winning at one point, and they don't anymore. And they're looking at it, they're believing that it's because of it's their fault. They're believing that it's their leadership or it's their lack of somewhere that they lack. When I'm telling you, it's not. It's not. It's not you. Other leaders will make you feel like you're doing something wrong, that because they don't want, you got to understand, whatever you're being told, there's a motive behind that, because you're one of the people rowing on their boat. The people telling you, hey, don't worry, we're going to get this back. We're going to get this back. It's not your fault. Your people are just lazy. No, it's not the case. Your people still have the dream in their heart. You are still the leader that you were and that you're capable of being. The vehicle sometimes can fall apart. Sometimes the vehicle can fall apart. Sometimes business models can become outdated. Ask Toys R Us. Ask Blockbuster. We live in an adapt or die economy. And sometimes people choose to adapt a few years late. And there are companies out there where I've seen that this is exactly the case. Too little, too late. Change the model up, but now there's not enough momentum to support it. So it doesn't work like it may have worked in 2018 had that model been adjusted. And it's unfortunate, guys. It is. It's unfortunate. I want, and I don't know what's going on. And you guys may win over there. If you're listening to my voice, you could be pissed off at me right now because of the stuff I'm saying. But any leader that knows me, you know me. If you knew me, you know me. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I don't care if you ever come do what I do or come where I'm at, or that's not the motive or the end game here. It's not to, well, I hope they all just get discouraged and come join me. No, that is not the case. I don't care if you ever do what I'm doing. That is not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not that low to do something like that. My point in this is just asking people to be honest with themselves. Be honest with yourself. I know leaders that are going back to work and going back to jobs and going away from their family, knowing that they're capable, but they're so worried that they're going to upset their friend who's in that company or another leader that they are going back to work at a job when they are a leader who's capable of not having a job. They're capable of living free. They have thousands of team members who are sitting at home who are giving up on their dream because they're too afraid to lead them somewhere where they can win. That's it. That's what it comes down to. There's leaders giving up. They're giving up on themselves. They're giving up on their teams because of their lack of courage to do what they know is right and to lead their team to where they can win. Be mad at me. Be pissed off at me. I know I'm only speaking to a small group here, and there's probably a lot of people on here that are like, "What in the world is this freaking dude even talking about?" Like he has gone off the deep end in this Facebook Live. But I have to say it. I have to say it. You know why? Because I'm not afraid of looking foolish. I'm not afraid of. I don't care. I just don't care. I really don't care. Because the truth is the truth. Authenticity is more important to me than you liking me. It is. It's true. So I'm going to tell you this. For the last year, we've been freaking winning. We've been freaking killing it. We've been killing it. I've earned more money than I have in a very, very long time with this company versus where I was. I've helped more people win in the last year than in my 8 years combined before. And I never knew I never knew what was out there until I was forced. And when I tell you guys, bawling my eyes out, like I commented on my post yesterday from a year ago where I put this was literally the most emotional day of my entire life. August 17th, 2020 was the most emotional day of my life. To have to walk away from something that I gave my heart and soul to for 8 years was the hardest thing. So I understand and empathize with leaders in that same position because they don't want to experience that. They don't want to have to look at a group of people and say, "Hey, I'm giving up. I'm going to go try something new." When all those people want is for them to have the courage to not give up, but to just lead them. Lead me. They're like, "Hey, man, we've looked up to you for years. We trusted you. We believed you, and now you're going back and getting a job because you don't want to upset your friend that you hunt with, or he's going to think less of you because he'd rather see you go get a job because there's no other option. You got to pay the bills, right? You got to provide. Put yourself in a position to win. That's what I challenge you to do. I challenge you to swallow your pride and say, "All right, how can we win?" If you want to talk to me, I will talk to you. I will help you. I'll help anybody. I'll help anybody regardless. I'll help the brand new person who's watching this video wondering what the heck's going on, saying, "Hey, I just want to make some money, dude. Like, hey, I want to have that lifestyle too. I want to have options. I don't want to go to my job. I'll watch this video to see what the freaking heck you were doing. I'll help you too." I'm not trying to not talk to everybody here, but I just feel like God really put it on my heart right in the middle of this Facebook Live. I didn't come on this Facebook Live to go here where I went today. I didn't. But I can't not. I know it's a double negative. I can't not do it. When something's on my heart and when I know it's the right thing to do, I can't not do it. And that's where I felt compelled to go on this Facebook Live. If you want to share this, well, you don't have to. I don't know why anybody would unless you want to just do someone a favor and share it so that the right person might hear it and share it. If you want to comment that I'm a piece of shit in the comments, or send me a private message that you have a problem with what I said, then message me and we can talk about it. But I can tell you that it came from a place of love. This comes from a place of love because there's so many people that I care about and love, and leaders and people that I've known for years that are so capable of living a life of freedom, but more importantly, leading so many other people to freedom. Businesses like this, this is what people don't realize. So many people see businesses like this, and they see home-based businesses and girls selling makeup on Facebook, or health and wellness products, or whatever it is. They see these, so many people building a business from home. And some people, they're like, that's cute. Another person, they're just going for it. They're ambitious. They're entrepreneurial. They may make it. Who knows? They may, replace their house note or pay for their car, make a few extra $100. Or some people make a full-time income. Some people, like myself, earn 7 figures, in a company, or change their whole life and retire and never have a job again. But one thing I will tell you is that it's real. It's a real thing. It's a true business that's scalable, that can create residual income to where you can earn income that will change your whole family's life. It's real. It's a real thing. But it's only as real as you take it and make it. If you treat something like this like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. But there's a lot goes in the dark. A lot goes in behind the scenes. But I gave my life to this business. I've worked so hard at growing myself and building a team and talking to people, and it wasn't just like this little thing for me. I really wanted it so bad. I really wanted to succeed, and that's why I did. And it got to a point where I was in a position of influence inside of a company or within a community of people. And now, because of that position that I'm in, have the responsibility to share the truth. And that's all I wanted to do today. That's all I wanted to do. So I did it before on why I left the company, and I held back, by the way. A lot of people, oh, well, you were really hard on. No, I wasn't. I was very considerate on the things the way I shared the last time I shared about why I left that company. There's a lot of things I could have shared that I did not share, nor will I share, out of respect for, because I believe in doing the right thing. But I told the truth. Just like I'm doing right now. I'm telling the truth. And I got your guys back, no matter what. If a leader wants to talk to me privately, reach out to me. I will tell you the truth. Whether you can do whatever you want to do as far as your professional decision, that's ultimately up to you. All I wanted you guys to do is be honest with yourselves. Quit lying to yourselves. Quit justifying things in your mind to support a false narrative that's being told to you so that you keep rowing the boat. You're a leader. You're a leader. And sometimes leaders have to make hard decisions. And it will surprise you how many people are waiting on you to be a leader. It will surprise you how many people are waiting on you to be a leader and to make that hard decision. Thanks, Alicia. Yeah, a year. So, all right, I'm gonna jump off. Freak, I can't believe I even went there today, but it was necessary. So, if you're listening to my voice, be a leader. Don't be a coward. Don't be weak. Be the leader that your team needs right now. There's people that need a business like this right now. There's people that need something to get them excited about life again, to blow wind in their sails again. There's people that are looking to you to lead them to where they can go for something again, and to win and to have success and to smile and be fired up and to set goals, to set their dream board again, to put it on the wall and to actually have a chance of reaching these things again. They're looking to you for that. So don't punk out on them now. Don't punk out on yourself. So I'm fired up. I'm out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. send me private messages, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's figure out this thing. It's only August. It's August 18th. Now is when I made the decision a year ago. Best decision of my life. I made it today. Some of you need to make a decision today. Some of you need to make the same decision today. And a year from now, you'll be feeling like I'm feeling right now, with lots of people grateful for your courage, the courage that you have right now. So pray about it. Think about it hard tonight. And don't let yourself down on this. Life's too short. Too short. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all for your time today.